Alright, for this one we have the Trevis Impact Nor interior used for the not Elysian Council. I never actually thought of a name for them because in theory that's something you would have found out by dialogue with the inhabitants, but I never actually got around to writing the actual dialogue for the inhabitants. When you talk to them, you just basically get like a simple set of directions for how to navigate the maze, like interior. The overall story here was that the people here, some of them had gotten infected with Borg nanites because of the fact that it's a collection of people that have gotten like stuck. There's like fallen through cracks in space into this subspace pocket, and apparently some of the people that had fallen through these cracks were infected with Borg nanites. However, since this subspace pocket is currently, at least, cut off from the Borg collective, the people who have fallen down here can't actually be assimilated because of the fact that the subspace pocket is set off from the Borg collective. No, I could not remove the crates. The crates are stuck there. One of the things with this interior is that the story mission that it was derived from was originally a very unique mission in that you basically have to go through this maze while there's a effect that makes it so that your bridge officers are treated as hostile NPCs, and you have to make a conscious effort to avoid shooting them constantly. Weird. And yes, her name is meant to be a German phrase for 7 of 9. I may have mangled it. To be honest, I never actually had any particular use for this map other than like a story thing where you go in, you talk to people, and then you leave. And this was kind of a convoluted one because of the fact that you basically just like wander around and talk to a lot of people. Well, okay, you do a lot of wandering around and some talking to people, let's put it that way. The 7 of 9 character is actually not a custom costume. That is actually a stock NPC. One of the ones that's listed as partially assimilated. So is this one. It's a Romulan who's partially assimilated, and that name is supposed to be like Tiny Machine or something. Romulan Tiny Machine. I don't think I actually got that one even close to right. Anyway, so one of the ideas I had going here is that the people who are using this had a very well, they're not using it for what it was originally meant to be used for. The space station-ish thing is something that they had cobbled together from ships that had been stuck here, which, again, that is actually something that happened in the TAS episode because of the fact that you have all these people who are stuck here and so on and so forth. Now, the story mission had it that that area I walked through with all of the cots was basically like their medical area, which seems a bit weird for this, but you know, nah, I think that's like night. I don't know. Anyways, this is basically like a cargo storage area. One of the, like, I guess you could call it like an adorable quirk to Star Trek Online is that cargo crates have glowing lights on them. Oh well. Why are there cargo crates stacked in the hallways? Why are they not someplace that's, reasonable? Now, in the actual story mission, it's kind of hinted that the true-way jerks that you're dealing with actually put them there as an obstacle. For this one, I never actually like fully thought out a reason for it. I think I would have actually hand waved it as some of the doors that you walk past because they're locked, and by locked I mean you can't open them because there's actually nothing on the other side of them, are actually like alternate corridors that the people who live here use, but you don't get to use. Anyways, though, so you get to Varric, who is actually a custom NPC. Funnily enough, Varric actually uses a liberated Borg human model, so that in theory you could actually make a player character look like this. Had fun with him. I did actually put a little bit of the story here, so yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Oh yeah, Zugang entrance or access point. Yeah, access point. Yeah, entrance, exit, access point. And that was as much as I finished writing. In theory, I would have written bits of dialogue kind of like that for the other people that you met, because we didn't meet the characters that are named Eingang, Ozgang, or Zugang. We meet Varric, and we saw those other two people that, or three actually, that were infected. The idea I was going with is that the nanites are, trying to connect people to the collective. It's just not working. And that, the idea is that possibly in time, they would, once enough people were infected, they would, it would create a like mini collective. But it hasn't happened yet. And the direction I was going with the story was that you would end up having to save them from that. As for the Bonaventure Sea, i.e. the reason you came here, I was basically going to write it off as soon as you found it. So, because you may have not noticed, but while we were flying up to the Elysian Council ship, well, not Elysian Council, there's actually a ship named the Bonaventure Sea amidst that horde of other things. So the idea was to have written like a little story blurb where you talk to the captain of the Bonaventure Sea and offer to escort them out because the spatial corridor is still stable enough for them to leave. And I think I would have written it so that they basically just like, okay, we're leaving now, and we'll keep we'll turn back if we run into any more riots, I guess is the best way to put it. Which would leave you to talk to these guys about their Borg problem. The exact specifics of things is something I hadn't quite worked out yet, which is part of the reason why I left this unfinished. It's because I hadn't figured out the exact approach to what you would actually be doing. Because as it is, it kind of like feels like a padded fetch quest, and you're basically just like talk to NPCs, make the things happen. I wasn't sure exactly how to make that interesting, and that's why I hadn't like actually written out that part of the story yet. Yeah, well. Alrighty, well, guess that's that for this one. See you guys later.